Thanks all for joining today. Just want to give a warm welcome to Norbert from National Instruments, who will be talking about the evolution of their customer operations department using JIRA Service Desk. And really, fun fact about him is he likes design and unique things. He drives a French car, but he has a Windows 10 phone. And so please give me a warm welcome in welcoming Norbert to the stage.
So welcome everyone here. I'm so excited to be here and give a presentation for you about this, how our evolution was with Worldwide Customer Operations Center with Atlassian. To be honest, this is the first time when I'm presenting about this here in English. Many times we gave presentation in Hungarian language because I came from Hungary in the Atlassian user groups and the Atlassian days and things like that. So let's see how it will goes. It's a 7 years of time frame that I wanted to shrink into a 30 minutes kind of presentation, so probably I will not be able to talk about everything or in the detail that you want. So after the presentation, you can go and we can discuss everything, even tomorrow evening in the bash. So, most probably every one of you has a big instance at home already with the JIRA Service Desk or with the JIRA software that most probably used for issue tracking and project management, mostly introduced for IT teams and software development teams, and later maybe expanded to other teams like HR, finance, legal, facility, and things like that. So this is the situation as well, or it was the situation as well for us. We had an instance for that kind of purpose, but there are many customer stories and best practices and others available in the market, in the internet. How to set up, how to scale, what are the top 5, 6, 7 best practices, lesson learns to set up these kind of environments for IT teams. What I wanted to show you is a totally different approach. We had this different instance that is designed from ground up to today's solution for customer operations. Okay, so IT and other teams never been involved. It is just for customer operations. Hopefully, you can leave out and you can have some takeaways. If you are ahead of these challenges or this evolution, then you can use some of the best practices, takeaways that we will have here. Here is our agenda. In the first third of the presentation, I will talk about the environment itself, the business needs, and the challenges. The challenges are much different than in an IT organization if you build a system for IT teams or technical teams. Because every time when I'm going to a meeting, having some discussion with IT teams how to use their own JIRA softwares and other connected Confluence and other solutions, and then I have to jump to another meeting with customer operations, and the discussions are much different. The business terms, the language, and everything are different. I'm an engineer as well, so it was really hard to me just to speed up and understand what they really need and what they want to do. And then we will jump into and take a look for the solution itself, what we developed and how it works. There are many customizations by us that we used as a workaround in the past. But later, when Atlassian as a vendor also evolved, they built into these solutions or provided these solutions and then be replaced with the built-in features. When we talk about evolution, then we talk about 4 different factors, okay? And then we will see what we had ahead. So the environment itself. I came from National Instruments, and National Instruments equips engineers and scientists with systems that accelerate productivity, innovation, and discovery. This is our mission that we see every day. We are an engineering company, and our platform consists of 3 key elements, 3 key parts. A productive software, a modular hardware, and an expansive ecosystem. It was very familiar when Scott just said something about the ecosystem, how the Atlassian community was released. And it just reminded me that we did something very similar, let's say 10, 15 years ago at National Instruments, when we just released the ecosystem and provided some community platform for our vendors and customers just to share ideas, download drivers, and talk about solutions. Especially, it reminded me as well, just to share some personal things, that in a few weeks from now, maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now, we will have our NI week, that is our annual summit, very similar to this one, where we attended many times as a staff, and right now I'm on the other side. I have to make a presentation as a solution builder. And at NI, we used to say that if you can turn it on or drive it or fly it, then a big chance that NI softwares or NI solution made it ready, because we have good softwares and modular hardware solutions that will measure lots of data, analog or other digital data. I don't want to spend too much time about the platform itself, because that will be more important how we can support our sales department and customer operations to be able to handle all of their challenges. At National Instruments, we have 7,500 people located in 50 different offices. We have 4 main hubs in Costa Rica and Hungary and Malaysia with these service center capabilities. And also, because we have hardware products as well, we have 2 manufacturing sites as well, in Hungary and in Malaysia as well. And we sell our products, software and hardware products, from 50 sales offices around the world. So what was the business need? What is the business need even today? You know, our platform is so big and so complex. One modular hardware can consist of easily thousands of parts. And then you have to add there many, many drivers, many, many applications, softwares that will make the whole system running. We need a great sales team who consists of engineers as well, because our partners are hardcore engineers as well, to be able to sell these products, to be able to think together and build the solution itself, and a great customer operation team who can help them to quote a system, to make an order, to cleansing the customer data, and things like that. So what's the role of the customer operation department, really? Let's take a look for that. We have lots of customers around the world, okay? We have to support them, and there are more than 200 different business process types that the customer operations department is doing. Just starting from customer data management, or just, let's say, as I said, quoting or booking an order, or just dealing with hardware, software activations and renewals and services and things like that. That's so many things. They have a big role in supporting the NI revenue that is $1.3 billion per year. If you have a big contract with a big customer that is located over the world, okay, and they have different branch offices, that you have to be able to control their work. You have to be able to control where the quote is going, where the order is going, where the shipping is going, where the financial information is going, and what kind of freight terms they can apply, whether we can check the terms and conditions and legal restrictions, because we cannot ship to that specific country or the other countries. They support the sales with these kind of answering these kind of questions. We have to do it worldwide, in many different languages, in many different regions, in many different cultures. That expectation in Asia is much different than the expectation in South Americas or in Africa or in Europe. So they have to deal with all of them. The complexity of our products and the number of customers just led into operations and data challenges in customer operations department. And that is that we wanted to solve. What are these data operation challenges really in numbers? We have 35,000 customers over the world that we sell them in 50 different countries. And this selling process is supported by more than 500 agents and 250 collaborators in the world. We have to do it in 25 languages and 24 hours per day. Majority of the languages, of course, are here in Europe. Okay, so it's a good part that we have this presentation in Europe, but still we have many, many different languages, independent languages, okay, in Asia, like in Taiwan, in South Korea, in Japan, in China, so they're also not something that they can translate each other. What are the data challenges from system perspective? We receive more than 3,500 incoming emails every day. It could be 5,000 very soon, so I will talk about that later. These emails are coming through 600 different email channels, email accounts over the world, like public email addresses like info.ni.com or orders@ni.com, but there are many, many specific email addresses that we set up in the past 7 years. All of these just, mean that this is the bottom line. Email is our main sales operations channel. We want to get away from emails and do things better. We want to manage the data much better and want to manage the operation itself much better. And this is that we wanted to solve, and here is where Atlassian helps us a lot. When we talk about the solution, you can see here the JIRA logo. That is that we wanted to introduce 7 years ago, but it was not an easy evolution, an easy time how we came up with this solution, because let's go back. How to translate your data challenges and issue challenges into an issue tracking problem. This is something that I will talk about a little bit later, but that was the major point when we said, okay, we found the solution. First, we were looking some kind of better email client or a collaboration tool or something like that. But finally, we got the JIRA solution, and we built this one. What does it look like? It's just a simple data flow diagram, not so accurate, but it's good enough just to describe what we are doing here. So on the left side for you, there are lots of customers who will continue sending these lots of emails to us. We collected all of this data in a Microsoft Office 365 cloud, and then we used our custom mail handler just to pull these requests, add some attributes, default some fields, and prefetch the objects and put into a database queue. These are still, in the other layer, so JIRA is not involved yet. We had to use this kind of architecture because data center was not exist on that time when we introduced this. We wanted to reduce the load of the server itself. We wanted to separate the functionality, so when we had any kind of problem with the mail handler, then we didn't need to bounce the server and make some kind of downtime for all of our customers. So we tried to separate out the functionalities, and right now we are looking how to move it back to the data center as a specific node, but still this is the architecture. And then you have a standard installation of JIRA, maybe a data center environment, and then your customers will check out the request through these dashboards and queues. You can see there, there's a firewall on the top. So our corporate policy doesn't allow us to publish this kind of data in a internet. So we have to rely on email communication, back and forth email communication with our customers. Luckily, Email This Issue plugin that is developed by MetaInf helped us a lot, and they provided us a very good solution for that. So let's take a look for our evolution and where we started and how we get there. Our whole journey started in 2010 when we had a BA and an IT intern guy. I just sit down together and try to translate this business problem into technical challenges, and then try to figure out what is the right software for us to move forward. It's a normal RFP process at the company, but introducing a new tool is not easy. It's easily bring us many good questions that you have never answered yet. 2011, we were able to introduce the tool, and finally we started it in a Costa Rica branch that is just launched that time. It was easy because we had to train the agents for a new tool only. We didn't have to go and retrain a customer operations department with steady knowledge on the old processes and just request them to make a mindset change. As time being, the solution got more and more stabilized, and the processes were really good, and then we started to introduce it in other branches and in other customer operation team as well, and finally we just got there that we have more than 500 agents. Especially it's closer to 700, but you know, if you just want to map it to the licenses, then it's about 500 plus. Okay, this is a high-level overview, and I will go through on different kind of components like processes, software, hardware, and the vendor evolution as well. This is the way how we worked in 2010 or before 2010, or not we, but the customer operations itself. Each of these emails are arrived into different inboxes, okay? And each of these customers or sub-teams were responsible for checking and monitoring this inbox. But many times the challenge was that customers sent us emails, and including multiple email addresses that finally landed into different kind of inboxes. If the team was enough good and was aware of the request that they asked for, then they were able to reply for that. But maybe another team who didn't know about the other team who replied on answered something differently. So finally, the customer got maybe 2 or 3 inconsistent emails, and they were a little bit confused. This is the situation that we wanted to solve, and finally, after consolidating all of these emails into one inbox and introducing JIRA, then they were able to continue working from dashboard. They were able to assign tickets to different agents. They were able to take some reports, who's doing on what is left behind, and okay. After we merged to JIRA Service Desk, the situation got even better because we had to, or we were able to leverage these queues that is dynamically updated when new tickets are coming in and things like that. 2 important points was in the previous slides and this one as well, the SLAs. The SLAs was not an out-of-the-box solution in 2010. Finally, it was merged into JIRA, so the customers or you who want to use the JIRA service desk today, you don't really miss this SLA feature, but that time we really needed something that will make it available. And Valiant is who finally just sold the product to Atlassian, provided this functionality in the last 6 years. So why JIRA? I talked a little bit about the RFP process. The tool selection was not easy and was not straightforward. Because what we were looking really, we were looking a new email client, a new collaboration tool, or what? There were many discussions back and forth. We elaborated big giants like HP, IBM, Microsoft, and others. And even we went and asked Gartner Research what they recommend, what are the innovative tools that we could use for this kind of problem. But the main challenge was that how you will phrase the challenge. What is your challenge really? Okay, from business perspective and from technical perspective as well. We went through on many rounds, and finally, when we said that, okay, how could we just consider email? Is it really something that we have to stick with? And then we said that, no, not really. It is just an object. We want to track what is the object life cycle, and we just want to add additional information, maybe do some collaboration on that. Then it got more and more familiar to us on the other side of the table, who are IT guys, that hey, we are doing very similar with Atlassian JIRA products, so why don't we use it here as well? This kind of customer story or use case was not really announced that time by Atlassian. Later, when JIRA Core and other products just came out, then they started to announce for this purpose as well. But in 2010, it was some kind of innovation by us. We started with JIRA 4 in 2010, but we had to recognize that Atlassian is accelerating and pushing out many new versions and releases quite frequently. So by the time when we went go live, it was JIRA 4.0. Okay, so how can we manage it? We haven't really started yet, but in the meantime, in the elaboration phase, 2 new versions have been released. So what we can use, what we can prepare for, and how can we manage it in the future? To be honest, we still have challenges how to manage it, and hopefully we can make it better, and we can make our test scripts better in the future as well. But in case of a mission-critical system where you manage things that have direct impact to the company revenue, then you will be more careful, and you don't want to apply everything just immediately by default and believe that someone else tested it in their own labs. We wanted to make sure that everything will work, and the processes that we built in JIRA will continue to work as well. But anyway, we went through on this evolution together with Atlassian, how JIRA is renamed and became JIRA Core, JIRA Software, JIRA Service Desk, and we were really happy when they announced the data center itself. That was the moment when we said that, oh guys, we have the right solution, and we believe that it will support us in long term as well, because that provided high availability and scalability as well. We were able to scale the system horizontally, but not vertically, or vice versa. Sorry. So let's see. Okay, can you see the screen? What's there? So there are 2 muscle cars. Do you like it? Yeah, I think you like it. Okay. But is it a good car for bringing the kids to the school, or going for shopping, or just going out during the weekend for somewhere? Yeah, you can use it, but probably not the best for each of these different cases. But this was the situation that we had to face with in 2010, when we just tried to figure out what kind of hardware we have to use for this solution. Just remember, we didn't really know what will be our scale, what will be our growth, and how it will look like after 10, 15, 100 other users will use it. So we wanted to make sure, and we purchased a muscle car, a muscle server, a Dell PowerEdge server, and then finally we just recognized that one is used actively, and one is parking in the garage because it was an active-passive failover. That was the solution that time. We used one server just as a backup in case of any hardware failure. Then we will have the parts and we can replace it. Okay? It's not the best use of your resources. And over the time, the servers got end of life, and we have to replace it. And what was the solution? Just replace with a newer version of the cars, the newer version of the servers, because you didn't have any other solution. And then we were really happy when Atlassian just released the data center, and then we were able to use different cars for different purposes. Okay, we can distribute the REST APIs to one server, the dashboard kind of request to another server, the login to another server. So right now we can use and leverage the advantages of this environment. Thank you, Atlassian, again. It's quite interesting to look back and see how the vendor itself, Atlassian, evolved in the last 7 years. When we started, then Atlassian was 8 years old in 2010, and finally in 2015, they got public. That's a huge achievement. They were listening, and if you check back each of these release notes, the major release notes, then the key element was performance improvements. In each version, constantly they focused on and invested to performance improvements. When we attended on these summits, and I encourage you guys to talk with the product managers and the Atlassian staff and provide feedback, because they are really keen and listening for your feedback, and they will build it into the next versions. Maybe not really the next year, but it's not something that you will use for 1 or 2 years. We started to use this Atlassian solution as an interim solution until we will figure out what will be the final one. But 7 years left. And I'm pretty sure that the next 7 years will be with this solution, okay? Because we don't have a better one. And this is a really great solution for our needs. They had a very great product strategy, and as I said, we started with JIRA 4, and then they separated the duties and provided some kind of application that is best for your needs. For us right now, we don't need any agile functionality, we don't need the JIRA software. I wish to have. We don't have the JIRA software, but we still have, because we need the JIRA collaborators, and JIRA Core is not data center enabled yet, but hopefully in the future we will not have these agile boards and others on the screen, because those are just really confusing or agents. The enterprise offering just grow a lot. In 2010, you were able to attend on an administration training, and maybe you got a T-shirt or things like that. That was the enterprise offering. And later, you got the UAT and other dedicated account managers who can deal with your problem. They will know what is your environment and how to action immediately when you will have any kind of problem. So, congratulations to Atlassian. I'm not sure if any of them represent here. Maggie, please, just translate it to them. Okay, let's take a look a little bit about the performance tuning and some kind of experience, because I don't want to lie. Yes, we had many challenges in the past, but this is the beauty of this whole job, that every time you will face with newer and newer challenges. For instance, many times you will hear about intermittent slowdowns. If you go to Atlassian user groups or forums or the LinkedIn channels, then today you can find a very great answer for that. Because previously we just saw that adding additional 20 gigs memory or 40 gigs memory will solve the problem. But it's not the case. Okay? First, you have to understand what is the root cause, how you are leveraging the Java garbage collector and other things. Otherwise, you will just double these intermittent slowdowns, okay? Because in the memory, these objects, you will get more and more objects, and the garbage collector will spend double time just to release it from there. So there are some best practices. As I said, these kind of best practices are available right now. If you just go to the Atlassian site or to the YouTube channel, you can see some Atlassian Summit decks as well that is focusing on the performance tuning. These are things that we had to use. And other than that, each time when you upgrade, let's say annually, then not only just the software, the vendor software will change, but all the infrastructure, okay? We started with JIRA 1.6, I think. Then, the garbage collector and the algorithm there was much different than today when you have Java 1.9, I think. In the meantime, you had to change many times, let's say, the storage systems. And in an enterprise environment, the storage is not something that you are just changing easily. There are big cupboards with full of storages, and there are acronyms like NFS, SAS, or SON, or those kind of things. And those storage systems are much different. You have to understand what is required for JIRA itself, where are the bottlenecks, and you have to choose the storage system accordingly. In case of database, we use Oracle RAC clustered environment because this is a standardized solution in my company. Every other applications are using that, so we had to use that as well. Just disabling the pool test on borrow kind of feature that was some kind of testing back and forth. Is it alive or not? Can I use the system? It is not something that is necessary in an enterprise environment, because immediately when the database will shut down, then a team will act and they will resolve your problem. So you don't need this kind of back and forth checking. The other one, archive the data. In a customer operations environment where you have daily 3,500 emails, then after a while, after 7 years, you will get a huge number of data. And the life cycle of this data is not so long. They need some kind of information. You will answer it, you will close the ticket, and then it's done. You have to store this data for 10 years here in Europe, just for auditing purpose, but you will not really actively use this kind of 3 years old kind of request that the sales or the customer just wanted from you. That's why we developed some kind of database level archiving solution and moved everything away, stored in a separate storage, and then we tried to keep the running JIRA system between 1 and 2 million kind of issues. That helped us a lot. Here is our JIRA system in numbers. In the left side, you can see the issue numbers, then the agents, how many agents we added, and then how much data we archived from time to time. And the last one is some kind of, what is our confident level in case of performance and issues and bugs and things like that. One thing that you cannot find here, any kind of steady line or just something that is falling down. Everything is still growing after 7 years, okay? So if you want to prepare for these challenges, then good luck. Most probably the takeaway of this presentation is that it's possible, okay? But every single use cases, every single installations are different, so you have to deal with your own use cases. Fortunately, there are very, very good Atlassian partners who can help you, and even if you will build a knowledge within your team, that will help a lot. Right now, there are many, many good documentation that you can use, and then you can trust that it will work, okay? As you heard about in this keynote, they invested again a lot for the community, for the data center itself, for the product itself, for performance, for features, make it done better. Okay, so if we just want to summarize what we've seen in the previous few minutes, back in 2010, we used a very messy processes, relied on email processing, and today we use a much more standard way of working. We were able to control what we are doing. We were able to estimate what we can do in the future, and we trust that it will work in the next 7 years as well. But the challenges didn't change, or I would say didn't go away. It just changed and translated to a different perspective. Scaling service delivery with data center is still the must-have things. If we process today 3,500 issues daily, then how can we do it after 7 years and when we will have, let's say, 7,000 emails daily? Is it enough if we focus on scaling the system horizontally and vertically? Not really. Maybe we will need some kind of, let's say, self-learning or artificial intelligence built into the system who will do all of this categorization and prefetching and everything automatically. And we can get rid of, the admin staff who is just categorizing and moving out the things. Prevent service outages with data center. We know it's possible, and this is one of the key points why we introduced data center, because after you will use this kind of solution in a tier 1 context environment, then any minute of the system downtime will cause dollars, okay, that you lost. So you have to make sure everything will work in 24 hours. Still, what we need, we want to track this kind of conversation, back and forth conversation with our customers and end users. Does it really need to store all the email content in JIRA? It's some kind of double storing things. The email server is the main source of truth in case of emails. We just need some kind of reference and some additional attributes that will help us just for categorization and for processing the request. We think about how to separate these kind of duties, how to make some kind of better integration, so the emails will be there in the mail server, and when we will need the detail, then with one click we will get the details itself. So these are some kind of points that we are thinking of right now. If you have any other questions, even more technical or business process related, then more than welcome just to raise. And then thank you very much for your attention.